Hey everyone. So today's video is going to be a bit different. You can see a plant in front of me. This is the Peperomia raindrop, but I'm using this to actually almost illustrate some of the points I'm going to go and talk about today. So today's topic is going to be all about lighting, both natural lighting that you get coming into your house through your windows and also artificial lighting, so grow lights. Because I know this is a conversation that a lot of people are having now. It's winter time, the light levels that are coming in naturally through the windows are a lot less. There's a lot less daylight hours, especially in the Northern Hemisphere where I'm based at the moment. I'm in the UK, so on top of the fact that it's winter and there's less daylight hours, it's almost permanently grey and cloudy, so the light levels aren't that great. So because what I'm going to talk about today is also going to have mention of a light meter that you can download. There's a lot of free apps that you can download on your phone. And I'll be taking some screenshots and putting it throughout the video purely because I'm filming this on my phone and I can't show you the screen of the phone that I'm filming on. So the thing to remember with a lot of the plants when it comes to lighting is that what we as human beings can see as something that's really bright isn't necessarily, if you start using the app that you can download, a light meter app on your phone, you will then truly see how much available light might be around for your plants to grow. And even something that you can see, like at the moment I'm sitting somewhere where it's really bright. Interestingly enough, I will put a picture of the screen from my light meter to show you quite how dark it actually is and how much available light would be for the plants to grow. Like for instance, behind me you might be able to see I've got a Maranta plant or a prayer plant because they tend to do better in medium to low lights, and you might imagine that I'm only about 1.5 meters away from a west facing window, and then towards the other side I'm about 2 meters away from a south facing window. So it is getting light from both directions, but it's still relatively low here. So one of the things that most people will say when it comes to lighting is your plants will generally be happy if you can read a book without needing supplemental lighting in the location where you are. And it just means that there's enough available light at that particular moment in time for the plant to be able to photosynthesize properly, and that's obviously how they get their nutrition and that's how they grow as well. So the other thing to be aware of for things like that is also something that a lot of people don't talk about, and it's the length of time that the plant has got this available light to it. So there's no good, I know some people, and I haven't tried it to be fair, purely because at least from the basic scientific knowledge that I have, I don't think it would necessarily work that well. So I know some people will have their plants within a window and they will only switch on any kind of artificial grow lights for supplemental lighting in terms of kind of prolonging the hours of light that plant gets. So for instance, if before this plant was used to getting 14 or even 16 hours of daylight during the middle of the summer months, and they want to replicate something similar and it only gets about 8 hours of daylight naturally coming in through the window, they would then supplement for the extra hours by just having the grow lights on them. Now this is something that kind of does make sense if you think about it that way. The only tricky aspect there is that there's no consistency of light volume that plant is getting. So how many foot candles, which is the measurement that you would have in terms of lighting, or how much lux. I think it's better if you kind of work within foot candles. There's even more scientific ways. So I can't remember what the exact phrase is, but I might drop it down below. There's another even more scientific measurement where it's the available light for the plant in order to be able to photosynthesize, because I don't know if you knew this, but plants actually will generally utilize wavelengths of a red or blue color, I think it is, and that's why you see some of the horrendous pinkish purple grow lights. Is because the theory behind that is that it gives the plant the type of light that it needs to grow. So with the white light of the full spectrum grow lights, it's more reminiscent of a regular light bulb that you would have within your household. So it's a bit more tolerable, and if you can get some full spectrum lights that you can kind of, depending if you get a light bulb kind of fixing, you can even put it within a lamp within your house above a plant, so it doesn't look quite as garish, because some of these grow lights are interesting looking, to say the least. And I'm not talking about the big grow lights that you might see on YouTube. Some of the big YouTubers are using. I would love some of those, the ones that are big panels that you can put them over grow shelves, because that's when you've been doing it for a while and you've embraced the crazy fully. So probably not for everybody. But with those grow lights, it's making sure that they're on for a long enough period of time that the plants will get the light that they need. So in terms of artificial lighting, it depends on what you want to use. So you can either go for the pinkish light or you can go for the full spectrum. There was some debate with the pink light on whether or not it worked as well as the full spectrum. Anecdotally, from having them both in my collection, they both work relatively well. I find the pinkish light tends to be a bit weaker, so we use it for things like that need medium to low light situations. And I'm putting them in an area where there's absolutely zero light. But with most of my grow lights, I've pretty much got them on most of the day, even the ones that are close to windows, and I'm just supplementing the light that those plants are getting. The interesting thing, at least in my collection, is these grow lights have been on year round. They've been on in the summer and they've been on in the winter as well. I don't switch them on for any longer. I mean, there's certain plants that are getting no light naturally. They're nowhere near a window, so those need to have grow lights on them. But even with some of the ones that are growing in the summer and they're getting quite a bit of light there, that extra boost of light without it being harsh light of like right into the south facing window has actually meant that a lot of my aroids and some of my rarer aroids have grown like crazy this summer when I've done that. So at least in my care, it's really worked quite well. And you don't even necessarily need to go crazy in terms of buying really expensive grow lights. What I've actually found works really well for a lot of my plants is a very high lux level of strip LED lights, just standard strip LED lights that you'd usually put under counters, under shelves and cabinets in kitchens. So you can get it, it's a double sticky side and you can stick it to the bottom of the shelf and it works like a charm, and it's a fraction of the price of other grow lights. It's worked in my situation, so don't take it as gospel, but it's worked really well. And obviously the grow lights as well that I have do also work quite well. Again, as I mentioned, I'm not going to make a very long video of this, but if you want me to talk more specifically about what grow lights I use and the results that I've had with them, let me know down below and I will do another video. But I think that's a good place to end this. Otherwise, I could be rattling on for quite a long time about levels. I get my geek on a bit with that one. And as always, any questions, comments, drop them down below. Let's have that conversation. In the meantime, I hope you have a great rest of your day, and hopefully I shall see you here soon. Thanks. Bye.